everyone, this is Rex, and I'm going to be bringing you the latest test update patch notes that are going to be going live sometime this month or early February. If you liked the video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe down below. It greatly helps out my channel. Be safe and no wrath. Most of these changes are going to be for the live modern servers. They are going to have added tribute to the item display window, corrected an issue where Bandolier wouldn't allow you to swap between sets of lore equipped items that had a conflict with each other. Journal of a Shadow Knight is now more lost. Many illusion potions have had their spell descriptions adjusted to make more sense. Kitlaw's War Whip is now Kitlaw's War Blade. Scroll Illusion Hooded Othmer can now be traded as intended. Adjusted the AC stats on Claws of Machine ranged items to the intended values. Reduced the drop rate of Crystallized Restless Ore on base pop. And added Crystallized Restless Ore to Claws of Machine rare NPCs and mission treasure chests. Changed the focus effect on Claws of Machine shaman chest items to reward duration. And added descriptive text to Sky Shrine Dragon Brazier to indicate it teleports you to Cobalt Scar. Fixed an issue with the contract of the Othmer where it wouldn't remove itself from your inventory after being used. Claws of Machine Ranger Bows have had their click effects attached. Ziri's Claw of Compassion now has the correct rank of Myrmidon's skill. The Warforged Emblem currency no longer has a double space in its name. Ornate Restless Shield and Bow ornamentations will now fit in the correct items. Fixed an issue where some collectibles said they were from a different zone than they actually were. The Warrior's Velium Threaded Broadsword no longer has a sympathetic vampiric draw. Fixed a typo in the Book of Moving Ice, Volume 7-Weapons. Reactive Frozen Grommet, Complementary Frozen Grommet, Reactive Velium Threaded Gem of Striking, Complementary Velium Threaded Gem of Striking, Reactive Velium Threaded Gem of Devastation, and complementary Velium Threaded Gem of Devastation now fit in the appropriate items with the correct slots. Fixed many weapon ornaments that had incorrect restrictions or item information text. Changed the name of Gnome's Rod of Disempowerment to Murtu's Rod of Disempowerment. Collection item achievement links should now work, and lower text should be more grammatically consistent. Corrected the description of Velium Composite Scale. Torment of Velius raid spells can now be found on Henbri, Bloody Hand of East Waste, and Claws of Machine raid spells will be available on Morton, Stonebreaker of West Waste after 6 months have passed from the launch of Claws of Machine. Changed the Silver Spoon ornament to work on bows exclusively. For quests and events, they fixed a bug that would sometimes prevent players from zoning out of a dynamic zone. The Conflagration Generals changed the filter for the zone-wide message that occurs when a whirling wildfire is hit with a proper spell. The message will now be displayed through the Direct Damage Others filter. Zlandikar Reborn the mission. Trash NPCs will not respawn within the event and will no longer con higher than they should. Aeonar mission fixed an issue that would leave the echo debuffs on player characters when the event resets. The Call mission fixed an issue that prevented all of the golems from spawning. This prevented successful accomplishment of the Let Them Go achievement. Again, the Call mission, the Worried Golem will now send PCs back up to access the rest of the tomb if they wish. The Crusaders mission, many of the spells used by the NPCs in this event now have a chance to be resisted. Those spells have had their damage slightly increased. Dramatically reduced the damage on Dismal Fury of the Shrine, that was Susarek's breath weapon, and reduce the damage on the spell cast by the Foyer Guardians. Aeonar, the mission, they fixed an issue that caused the Echo Auras to despawn prematurely, reduced the damage on the Intruder's Curse spell to be more reasonable, fixed an issue that would cause the Echo Auras to fail to give their protective buffs. When the Earthen Orb is absorbed by the Earthen Echo, if there are no Guardians to be destroyed, no message about destroying one will appear. Now only 2 orbs will spawn at a time. Ragnar will no longer spawn in this event. Lastly, Aeonar will not rejoin the fight until Grolik has been defeated. Sorry text can now be spoken in /say to advance the text for Quincy Egomope's dialogue. Churn the Axeman Hargan the Archer, Corbin Blackwell, Dobin Crossaxe, and Garradane Glacierbane will only give the rewards once at the end of the 10th Ring War. Borodane Glacierbane has gone home, as his services are not needed. Speak with Esadera to obtain the same services. Defenders of the Tomb, the Drakes will be much harder to avoid now. They are much more aware of their surroundings. The Call, the Raid, fixed an issue with achievement messaging talking about the wrong achievements. Vulak will now have his HP locked until all of his Tomb Guardians are killed, and they eliminated a couple of exploits. Restless Assault for Mission and Raid. Master Grondo will no longer sometimes cast Frozen Feet immediately when engaged. Eye of Zome will no longer break the Others things Heroic Adventure when clicking on crystals to cause them to disappear. Resolved an issue in the Tower of Rot where Scions would create a Mega Train when a player completes a specific step of the quest Nereus' plan. For spells, they removed Mount Blessing Kala from all players. If you are on live or a progression server that has reached Torment of Velius, you may re-click your mount to gain the buff again. They corrected an issue where quick time could sometimes cause spells to become locked out. And for Magician, they fixed several errors in Claws of Machine spell descriptions that created items. For NPCs, they updated Base Pop NPCs in Sleeper's Tomb, Dragon Necropolis, Western Waste, and Skyshrine Raid so they will drop their rare loot, including the Luck Augment. The Overseer Reborn is now correctly listed as a hunt target instead of the Captain of the Guard, for the Hunter achievement. Hunter of the Sleeper's Tomb. Resolved an issue where an NPC that is not a rare spawn was showing up as one. Fixed an issue where necromancers in the Dragon Necropolis where they could see through invisibility. Sirens in the Cobalt Scar no longer see through invisibility. Adjusted the bats in the Dragon Necropolis to behave correctly when pathing near water. The terror of the flying sharks of the Cobalt Scar has been resolved. Sharks now stay in the water where they belong. For now. Mercenaries. Several new ranks have been added to the following mercenary AAs. Improved health, improved mana, improved melee defense, improved spell resistance, furious wrath, steadfast resolve, subtle magic, healing acumen, subtle strikes, rising fury, silent arcanum, and mystic destruction. For collections, they fixed a typo in the component name Don't Be a Guppy for the collection achievement Cobalt Scar Scavenger. For Overseer, made a speculative fix to prevent Overseer quests from failing to start, added in a message reporting when an Overseer agent has recovered. The Conflagrant, Platinum, and the Ring of Scale worker reward is limited to the Burning Lands like the rest of the items in that reward option. Miscellaneous Fixes. Watcher Scots is now correctly listed as the mission giver for the mission achievement Hero of Dragon Necropolis. Corrected an issue where testcopy would fail if you had no items in the Dragon's Hoard. Addressed a client crash when unloading models during the zoning or camping process. Addressed a client crash when rendering text. Fixed a client crash that could occur when failing to initialize chat windows. Added diagnostics to help prevent future zone crashes. The Pet Who Leader command should once again be usable by all players to find out the leader of a targeted pet. Fixed a bug where the help message from /loot no drop was being displayed incorrectly. Server select and the old login screens will now properly use your default browser when opening a web page. Made a pathing pass on the Claws of Machine version of Temple of Vishon. Corrected typos in a Dwarf Heritage Crate, Dwarf Art Collector achievement. For the UI, removed the no longer in use embedded browser window. Fixed an issue that could occur if you tried to deposit an item in your Dragon's Hoard before it completely loaded. Corrected an issue where task overlay options weren't loading and saving correctly. The Dragon's Hoard will now automatically resort stackable items so that the partial stack will always be on the top or bottom, depending on which way you have the window sorted. Replaced item filter type, combinable with trade skill, which should prove to be a more useful search type. Added a help window to the Dragon's Hoard window. Added tribute as a search option to the find item window and bazaar window. Fixed the text description for augments that require using a perfect augmentation distiller to remove. And they added the zone guide connections between the Cobalt Scar and Kale Drackle. So those are the patch notes that are going to be coming up sometime later in January or early February 2021. They are going to be currently going to the test server, and then they'll be moved over to the live server. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button down below.